Folks, before we get started, I have some good and bad news. The good news is last night's NXT show was amazing. It was a brilliant sports entertainment show. A show that will have you watching it 100,000 times. Tonight's NXT show was a show that will definitely have you watching it more. Actually, it'll have you watching it more than 100,000 times. The show was that good. The NXT show last night was that good. It was excellent. It was brilliant. Why can Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown do the same as NXT? I don't get it. I don't understand. Why can Friday Night SmackDown, Monday Night Raw do the same? NXT is doing a very good job continuing to give us better shows. Something Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, of course, needs to fucking work on. So anyways, I told y'all the good news. Of course, NXT gave us yet another amazing show last night. So the bad news is Yesterday, the body of former World Wrestling Entertainment pro Shad Gaspard was found early Wednesday on Los Angeles, Venice Beach, after he was caught in a ramp current last weekend. Police said patrol officers were flagged down around 1:25 a.m. by a person reporting that a body had washed ashore. A police department statement said he was identified as Gaspard, and his family was notified, police said, and Gaspard went missing last Sunday after he went swimming with his 10-year-old son, Aria. The boy was rescued, and several other swimmers made it out of the water safely. As you may know, Gaspard, 39, gained prominence in the WWE as one half of the tag team group Crime Time, along with his partner JTG, after retiring in 2010. And those of you who don't know Shad Gaspard, again, he was one of the WWE tag team groups Crime Time. He had small roles on TV and in movies, including the 2015 Kevin Hart comedy Get Hard. He was about 50 yards, 46 meters from shore when he was last spotted by a lifeguard, police said. A wave crashed over him and he was swept out to sea. His wife, Selena Gaspard, issued a statement Tuesday thanking the authorities and fans. So first of all, they expressed their gratitude to the first responders who rescued his son, Shad Gaspard's son, and to the lifeguards, coast guards, and drivers and fire and police departments for their continued efforts to help find their beloved Shad, the statement said. So it is sad, to see a body of a WWE wrestler found. My thoughts and prayers go to Shad Gaspard's family. So again, my thoughts and prayers go to Shad Gaspard's family and friends. What a sad day that was yesterday, hearing that. Really was. So anyways, moving on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. This is Brendan Ingram here, back with another NXT review. So I'm going to be reviewing NXT. So like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Turn on the bell for all notifications so you won't miss my NXT, Monday Night Raw, and Friday SmackDown reviews that I do every week. You know, first I do Monday Night Raw, and then Friday Night... No, I do Monday Night Raw, NXT, and then Friday Night SmackDown. And you know what days I do my Monday Night Raw, NXT, and Friday Night SmackDown reviews. I've told you that months ago on my reviews on my YouTube channel. Matter of fact, I told you all that on either my Monday Night Raw or my Friday Night SmackDown reviews months ago. So you know what days I do my reviews on. You know that. You know. So, also, not only make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the bell for all notifications, also be sure you follow me on Twitch and Twitter and like my Facebook page that I've created that I'm going to be boosting up. I keep saying I'm going to boost it up, and I've never done it. I always keep saying I'm going to boost it up, and I've still never done it. And then the next week after that, said I was going to do it, still never done it. I'm still going to do it, trust me. Whenever I save up a lot of money, I'm going to boost up my Facebook page. Because I'm going to be posting all my reviews on there, starting today. So, once this review is posted, I'm going to be posting it. I'm going to be sharing it on my Facebook page that I've created. I am going to post my Facebook page link on Twitter, so everybody on Twitter will know what I'm talking about. So, without further ado, let's get started with the NXT review. So, the opening segment to tonight's NXT was a first match. So the first match to start off NXT was Killer Kross with Scarlett versus Liam Gray. So this match was really quick. It didn't last long. It was like a squash match for Karrion Kross. For Karrion Kross, this was definitely a squash match. It really was. So, of course, Kross had hit a series of Doomsday Sados on his opponent, locks in the cross jacket, and Gray submits. So it was a quick match. It was only like 2-3 seconds. It took like 2-3 seconds. The match did. It was quick. It was really, really quick. So he hit the cross jacket, and Gray simply tapped out. Seconds later. That match was a fantastic squash match for Kross. I like how they're building up Kross's heel turn. You know, Kross's heel. I like how they're building up Kross, period. Now they need to work on building up Scarlett. They need to be putting Scarlett in matches now. Because we haven't seen Scarlett wrestle in probably like 2 weeks on NXT. For 2 weeks we haven't seen Scarlett wrestle. We want to see Scarlett. We want to see what Karrion Kross can do. Now we want to see what his wife Scarlett can do in the ring. I want to see what Scarlett can do in the ring. Because I've already seen what Karrion Kross can do. We need to see what Scarlett can do now. It's time for them to start putting Scarlett in squash matches so we can see what she can do. Anyways, while Kross and Scarlett celebrate in the ring, Ciampa's music hits. Ciampa walks out and has a mic. He has a microphone. Yeah, he walked out to the ring with a microphone. And, excuse me, I turned down my fan. He walks out with a microphone, he introduces himself and says, "This is my home." He says that attacking him was done to make a point, and he understands and respects it. He continues to talk up Kross, and says that he is special with his aura, his entrance. Ciampa stands on the apron and Scarlett invites him into the ring. Ciampa says that he is special as well, and he challenges Cross to a match at TakeOver in your house. Ciampa and Cross stare down each other in the ring, and Ciampa retreats up the ramp. Of course, the Ciampa that I'm referring to, of course, you know exactly what Tommaso Ciampa I'm talking about. The Tommaso Ciampa that I'm talking about is this Tommaso Ciampa. Not the heel Tommaso Ciampa, the babyface Tommaso Ciampa. The Tommaso Ciampa that's currently a babyface right now. He's the top babyface star in the men's division. He's a top star on the main roster, on the NXT roster. He's one of the top stars. There's other top stars too, including Karrion Kross and Velveteen Dream. And now they're building up Dexter Lumis as a top star too, from what I've been hearing. So yeah, this was Tommaso Ciampa. He is the one that came in the ring with a mic and he introduced himself. So yeah, this is defiantly NXT is defiantly Tommaso Ciampa's house, but NXT is also now Karrion's house. Let's be honest. So yeah, they stared down each other. Ciampa retreated up the ramp because I guess he thought that Karrion Kross was going to attack him from behind, which he didn't. To no avail, or to no void. So, the next match that took place on NXT was where is he? Let me find him real quick. Okay, so next match was Phantasma versus Akira Tozawa. This was the next match. Before that match, we got a promo advertising the Cruiserweight Championship tournament and covering every competitor's record thus far. Then they went to commercial break. And then the match between Phantasma and Akira Tozawa started. Phantasma tried to quickly roll up Tozawa, but Tozawa escapes. Phantasma takes down Tozawa, owning his wrist. But Tozawa fights back and pins down Phantasma, but Phantasma escapes. Phantasma transitions into a suplex in a pinfall attempt, but Tozawa kicks out. Phantasma traps up Tozawa, and Tozawa returns. They trade hip tosses, and Tozawa goes for a drop kick, but Phantasma dodges. Phantasma wraps up Tozawa and tosses him down. Tozawa gets to his feet, and they trade chops. Tozawa hits a Hurricane Rana, and Phantasma leaves the ring. Tozawa hits another Hurricane Rana from the apron onto Phantasma, then gets in the ring to break the count. Tozawa hits a cannonball into Phantasma from the apron to the outside, and they go to commercial break. So back from commercial break, Phantasma kicks Tozawa in the chest and hits a splash on Tozawa on the apron. Phantasma hits a senton Automanco and pins Tozawa for 2. Phantasma picks up Tozawa and goes for a back suplex, but Tozawa lands on his feet and hits a bridging German suplex on Phantasma. Then Tozawa goes to the top rope, but Phantasma crunches him on the top rope before he can hit his senton. Phantasma initially sets up for a superplex, but it is blocked, and he instead picks up Tozawa in a fireman's carry and drops him onto the top turnbuckle, stomach first. Phantasma covers Tozawa for 2. Tozawa hits a bulldog on Phantasma, then sent on from the top. But, Phantasma rolls out of the ring. Tozawa tosses Phantasma back in the ring and covers him for 2. Tozawa strikes at Phantasma, but Phantasma hits him with a dropkick, sending him over the top rope. Phantasma hits a dive onto Tozawa on the outside. Back in the ring, Phantasma goes for the Phantom Driver. Tozawa tries to reverse into an octopus lock, but Phantasma hits the Phantom Driver and pins Tozawa. This match was decent. It wasn't too bad. I mean, it had some ups and downs, but overall, the match was decent. Pretty good. It definitely has some ups and downs to it, though. That's for sure. So, after the match, we got a recap of the breakup between Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher from last week. Oh, just in case you're wondering, the Timothy Thatcher that we're talking about, that we're referring to, is this one right here. So Imperium became the new NXT Tag Team Champions. Riddle beating Thatcher, and Thatcher beating down Riddle. So then, Thatcher cuts a promo backstage talking about how he enjoyed beating up Riddle. Thatcher says that he wants a match again against Riddle with a stipulation that you only win with knockouts or tap out. Thatcher lays down the challenge and tells Riddle that he can pick the location. Folks, let me tell you right now, this match is going to be the one for the ages. I will not be surprised if they let Thatcher pick up the victory over Matt Riddle, or Matt Riddle pick up the victory over Thatcher. I will be surprised if this match is tied. I'm just going to tell it like it is. This is not, you know what? This is not the only match that's going to be good. I'll tell you later on what the other match. I'll tell you later on the other match that's going to be good for NXT TakeOver in your house in just a few minutes. So, now, the Tommaso Ciampa promo, the Tommaso Ciampa and Cross segment believes to tell me that Tommaso Ciampa and Cross will have their first match at NXT. By the way, Tommaso Ciampa and Cross will have their first match at NXT TakeOver in your house. That match will also be good. So, Tommaso Ciampa and the Cross match will be good. The Timothy Thatcher versus Matt Riddle, that match will be good. But those two matches are not the only matches that will be good for NXT TakeOver in your house. That's a good pay-per-view to come up with, though. That was a good pay-per-view by Triple. That was a good pay-per-view to come up with, you know. I think Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Road Dogg were the ones that came up with the pay-per-view. It's a good pay-per-view for good matches like this, you know. For good matches like those two matches that I just named. Yeah, NXT TakeOver in your house is definitely going to be one of the best pay-per-views this year. It's going to be one of the best NXT pay-per-views this year, I believe, in my opinion. I don't know about the other pay-per-views. I think this is the last NXT TakeOver pay-per-view from what I've been hearing. I don't know. I hope not. I hope they got more NXT pay-per-views. We need more NXT TakeOver pay-per-views. I think this one's going to go down as the number one pay-per-view this year. I believe this one right here. If it goes well, we'll see. We'll see how good this pay-per-view is going to be. This NXT TakeOver pay-per-view in your house. We'll see how that pay-per-view is going to be. Nonetheless, let's move on here. So it said last night that me and Yim would take on Santana Garrett after the commercial break. So, back for commercial break. One of the women's division superstars, none other than Shotzi Blackheart, one of the NXT female superstars, cut a promo. The Shotzi Blackheart I'm talking about is this one. Shotzi Blackheart cuts a promo from the top of the tank about her personality and her feud with Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Blackheart also calls out Chelsea Green and Candice LeRae. This was a good video package from Shotzi Blackheart. Amazing, brilliant video package. I loved it. I love her character. I love her, how she talked, how she cut that amazing promo. And I loved how she mentioned Chelsea Green and Candice LeRae. Because this gets us to believe that she's going to also be feuding with Chelsea Green and Candice LeRae. So she's probably, this leads us to believe that she's going to have 3 feuds in NXT. The first feud is the first feud, which she is currently in, is with Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. The next 2 feuds that she's going to have, that we expect to believe, are going to be with Chelsea Green and Candice LeRae. So I'm thinking Shotzi Blackheart's next feud after Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez is going to be Chelsea Green next. That's probably going to be Shotzi Blackheart's next feud. And then her third feud's probably going to be with Candice LeRae, I'm hoping. I'm hoping I'm right. I may be incorrect. I'm not sure. I may be right. Sometimes, I don't be knowing if I'm correct or incorrect about some things. I mean, some things I know I'm right about, and some things I'm not right about. We all have that problem. Just like we all make mistakes. Just like WWE right now making mistakes on giving us bad Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown shows that we don't deserve to see. Shows that shouldn't be shown. So, anyways. If WWE knows that they're not going to, if they know that the Monday Night Raw and Friday SmackDown shows are going to be garbage, why continue to give us those garbage shows? I don't get it. I don't understand. The bottom line is WWE needs to do better with these Monday Night Raw and Friday SmackDown shows, because they are garbage and those shows suck. They sucked real bad. Just like this week's Monday Night Raw sucked. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, after Shotzi Blackheart's amazing video package of her cutting a promo, here is what happened with the match between me and Yim and Santana Garrett. So Garrett and Yim trade hip toss and drop kick attempts. Garrett tosses Yim into the corner and hits a back handspring elbow, then a suplex. Garrett pins Yim for 2. Yim hits a dragon suplex on Garrett. Then she kicks at Garrett's face. Yim hits protect your neck, pinning Garrett. That was a quick match. That took probably 5 seconds. In my opinion, it took 5 seconds, this match did. Excellent match, brilliant win for me and Yim. Brilliant win for Mia Yim, only for Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae to come out. You know, the Candice LeRae I'm talking, the Candice LeRae I'm talking about, by the way, is not this Candice LeRae. Not that one. Oh no, not that one. It's this one. Yeah, this one's a whole lot better. I like this Candice LeRae. This one's a whole lot better. And Mr. Johnny Gargano, the Johnny Gargano way, this guy. Yep, that one. So, yeah. Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae came out after Mia Yim's match and taunted her. LeRae continues to complain about Yim's apparent continued opportunities. She claims that Yim took opportunities from her. LeRae and Gargano storm the ring. Of course, Yim attacks Gargano, but LeRae, listen up here, LeRae jumps her from behind. LeRae tosses Yim into the ropes, and Johnny low bridges her, sending her to the outside, which I bet that had to hurt, given how small Candice LeRae is. That had to hurt her. So, actually, change that. Mia Yim was the one. Actually, Mia Yim was the one that went to the outside. That had to hurt Mia Yim, given how big Mia Yim is. That had to hurt her. That had to hurt. I watched it though. I was supposed to say Mia Yim and not Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae obviously was not the one that went down to the outside. Mia Yim was actually the one that went down to the outside. I had to change that for a minute. I had that incorrect. So, anyways, Keith Lee ran down to the ring and makes the save for Yim, sending Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae running. Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae running, they were running like ants. They were most definitely running like ants. Seriously. They definitely were. For Keith Lee to come in the ring like that, it's like when the big man came in the ring, the two little ants ran out the ring. They ran. The two mini-me's. No, I'm just playing. But they did run out the ring like ants, though, for real. That was just funny. That was too funny. The way Candice LeRae, Johnny Gargano ran out the ring. That was just too fucking funny. It looked wrong, too. Because the way Keith Lee came in and they ran out, it looked funny and wrong. I like that. That was funny. That was a funny moment right there. Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano running like ants. That was a funny moment. Good couple and a funny couple too. Anyways, we see a recap of Cameron Grimes defeating Finn Balor thanks to Damian Priest. Yep, it was let's be honest, Cameron Grimes only won because of the help of the Archer family, Damian Priest. So Damian Priest attacked on Finn Balor. Grimes, ladies and gentlemen, Cameron Grimes, this Cameron Grimes, not that Cameron Grimes, this Cameron Grimes, cuts a promo from outside talking about how he beat Finn Balor last week, saying it's grind time. So it said last night that Damian Priest would be on NXT later on that night to speak on the current situation. And then it said next up, a commercial break. I'm trying to get it right for a moment, because I was stuttering again. I was about to say something else. Incorrect. So, back from commercial break, Drake Maverick was interviewed about his match. He was saying that his match against Kushida is going to be somewhat difficult. I don't know why he would think that, given that he did roll him up for the 1, 2, 3. I mean, that is the simple fact. Just speaking facts, alright? So, he is tired. He said he is tired of all of the platitudes and glitches. Is glitches even a word? Anyways, saying that he only thing he needs to do is win. So, the next match last night that took place on NXT last night was Roderick Strong versus the guy that everybody say is weird, is strange looking. The guy that some people say is like the Fiend a little bit with the gloves, because the Fiend wears gloves too. Dexter Lumis. So here's what happened with the match between Roderick Strong and Dexter Lumis. Adam Cole and Bobby Fish accompany Strong to the ring, but heads back up the ramp once he gets in the ring. Strong trash talks Lumis and tries to gain control of Lumis using the left arm, but Lumis takes control instead. Strong transitions into a side headlock, but Lumis escapes and backs Strong into the ropes. Strong tries to surprise attack Lumis, but Lumis scares Strong out of the ring. Strong gets back in the ring and goes for a leg takedown, but Lumis
Brooklyn, bringin' the A to you.
A headlock takedown on Strong, and Strong gets out the ring again. Strong runs back in, and Lumis hits a series of strikes onto Strong, followed by a scope slam and a leg drop. Strong hits Lumis with a knee to the midsection and a series of chops. Strong hits Lumis with kicks. Lumis hits a running bulldog on Strong. Strong escapes the ring again, and Lumis gives chase. Strong sends Lumis into the steel steps and then drops Lumis back first into the apron. Then they go to commercial break. So back from commercial break, Strong hits a backbreaker on Lumis. Strong locks in a seated abdominal stretch on Lumis. Strong fish hooks Lumis' nose. Lumis keeps his stare on Strong, spooking Strong into breaking the hold. Both men are on their feet trading blows. Strong hits an Olympic slam on Lumis, covering him for 2. Strong stomps at Lumis' hands and strings at him with a forearm to the face. Strong goes for a stronghold, but Lumis kicks Strong in the face. So Strong clubs away at Lumis' back and goes for an Olympic slam, but Lumis evades and hits a thus press on Strong. Then a back body drop. Loomis hits a slingshot suplex on Strong, covering him for 2. Strong hits Loomis with a back elbow. Then enziguri. Strong chops away at Loomis, but Loomis seems unfazed by the chops. Loomis gets to his feet and hits a spine buster on Strong. Strong takes Loomis down and goes for the stronghold. Loomis blocks. Strong instead rolls into the pinfall attempt, and Loomis is pinned for 3. I like how Loomis Loomis looked. I like how he's just sat there and act like the attacks hit him, but didn't. I like how he sat there and let the attacks hit him like it phased him, but it didn't. Let's be honest, those attacks didn't phase Loomis. Just like that match with Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan couldn't even face the Fiend. I mean, he was able to, but at times he weren't. At times he was, at times he wasn't. Just like Seth Rollins. So, the winner was Roger Strong. Dexter Loomis locks in a Kanagami on Strong. Cole and Fish come down and try to break the hold, but Loomis won't let go. Dream comes down and makes the save, taking out Fish and Cole. Now, some of you may question me and say, what Fish and Cole? What Fish and Cole are you talking about? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you look on the screen, the Adam Cole and Bobby Fish that I'm talking about is this Bobby Fish. The Adam Cole that I am talking about is this Adam Cole. Now, some of you may question me and ask and say, Velveteen Dream who? Well, those of you that are probably questioning that, let me answer that for you. Let me answer that for you real quick. Velveteen Dream, the Velveteen Dream that I'm talking about, that came and hit Cole with a super kick, the Velveteen Dream that I'm talking about, obviously you know, it's this one. It's this Velveteen Dream. Who else? There's only one Velveteen Dream. There could be only one Velveteen Dream. And that's the Velveteen Dream you see on the screen on the right side. Or should I say on the right side of your screen. So anyways, Dream hits Cole with a super kick, sending him over the barricade. Dream hits a purple rainmaker on Cole from the top rope. By the way, not only there could only be one Velveteen Dream, there could also only be one Adam Cole, one Bobby Fish, one Roger Strong, one Dexter Loomis. There can only be one wrestling name, one person. Nonetheless, Dream poses on the ring steps as Loomis strikes Roger Strong's head. Rhea Ripley is shown backstage preparing for her match against Io that night. She was shown that night preparing for her well-known biggest match of her career. Let's be honest. So, the next match was a tag team match. Now, this was the only tag team match that they'd given us last night on NXT. Take note. I'm surprised that this was the only tag team match, given that the tag team division, the NXT tag team division, is going well. Well, the tag team division that's not going well is the SmackDown and Raw tag team division, let's be honest. The Raw and SmackDown tag team division are really struggling really bad. Both of those tag team divisions are struggling. NXT tag team division seems to be doing very well. Just like the NXT show itself seems to be doing very well. Something I wish to say about Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, but can't. Those shows were horrible. They sucked. I just love the NXT show. I just love NXT and what they do, man. It makes me feel proud of what they do on the show. It fires me up. It fires everybody up, and I'm sure it fires the podcasters up too. Even JD himself said he likes how the NXT shows are doing and all that. Even Wrestle Talk likes how NXT is doing. NXT's doing well, man. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed with NXT brand. They're doing well. They're doing way better than Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, apparently. They really are doing way better than those brands. I hate to even mention them again, but I wanted to, because I wanted to put the truth out there, which I already have put the truth out there, because I did say on my Monday Night Raw review that the show sucked. Monday Night Raw show sucked. Which, yeah, the show did suck. Let's just be honest. Just like what I'm going to say on this week's Friday Night SmackDown review. The Friday Night SmackDown show sucked. Going to say the same thing about Friday Night SmackDown this week. Guarantee you the Friday Night SmackDown show is going to suck. Again, just like Monday Night Raw review. You know, both shows have sucked for about 7 weeks now. For about 8 weeks. Next week, it'll be week number 9. Counting. 9 episodes of garbage Monday Night Raw for Friday Night SmackDown shows. That'll be 9. This week, 8. Next week's gonna be 9. Number 9. Anyways. So, about this tag, back to what I was saying about this tag team match. So, this tag team match between Arnie Larkin and Danny Burch was the only tag team match on NXT last night. This was the only tag team match they've given us. I think to Arnie Larkin and Danny Burch, I think this would be considered a squash match to them. Yeah, this was a squash match basically for them, because the Ever Rise, they're one of the Performance Center tag teams. I think they're on the NXT main roster. I don't think it's been confirmed that they were on the NXT main roster, but they keep losing though. It seems like they keep losing. What are they doing what is WWE doing with the Ever Rise? I mean, what are they even doing with that tag team? What are they even doing with that tag team? That's the question I got. And the main question I got is, what is WWE doing with the tag team of Arnie Larkin and Danny Burch? Now, all of a sudden, it seems like they're pushing them. It seems like every time they're pushing them, they're bringing them down. Just like Austin Theory back on Monday Night Raw. They gave him a push. It seems like they're pushing him, and now they're bringing him down. Austin Theory might as well goes back to NXT. Might as well go right back to NXT. Because Austin Theory belongs to NXT right now. And you know what? First of all, the WWE shouldn't even brought him to the main roster to begin with. That's just like Arnie Larkin and Danny Burch. NXT goes from building them up to bringing them down. Now all of a sudden they're building them up again. It's not making sense. Anyways, here's what happened with the match with Arnie Larkin and Danny Burch. Danny Burch maintains control of the match, hitting Martel with a headbutt. Arnie Larkin tags in and chops away at Martel. Chase Parker tags in and Larkin takes him down with a blockbuster. Larkin locks in a single leg Boston Crab on Parker, forcing a submission. And you know what? I got to question NXT about what they're doing with Arnie Larkin and Danny Burch. I don't get it. It's like they're bringing them up, bringing them down. I just don't get it. I mean, overall, the NXT show was good. I just didn't understand why all of a sudden they're building Arnie Larkin and Danny Burch up again. Because, you know, they brought them up, brought them down, brought them up. You know, they're doing it again. Seems like they're bringing them up again, building them up again. Hopefully, Arnie Larkin and Danny Burch will be future NXT Tag Team Champions, hopefully, in the future. Some people want to see them as future NXT Tag Team Champions. I want to see them as future NXT Tag Team Champions, too. I want to see what the title, how good the title will look on them. I want to see how many days they'll reign as the NXT Tag Team Champions. Right now, Imperium is currently the new NXT Tag Team Champions, which they rightfully deserve to be NXT Tag Team Champions. We'll see what NXT does with the tag team of Arnie Larkin and Danny Burch. Just like the other superstars, we'll see what they do with them. Just like Dexter Lumis, we'll see what they'll do with Dexter Lumis, which I think they're building him to be a top star in NXT. That's what I'm thinking. In my opinion, anyway. I don't know about everyone else's opinion, but in my opinion, I think they are building Dexter Lumis up as a top star in the NXT main roster. In NXT men's division. So after Arnie Larkin and Danny Burch's victory over Everrise, we see a recap of Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae jumping Mia Yim. Yes, they jumped Mia Yim. Keith Lee requested an interview backstage. The limitless, the North American champion, limitless Keith Lee, the one I'm talking about, of course, is this Keith Lee right here. That one. That Keith Lee. The guy that I just pulled up on the screen about probably 15 minutes ago, I'd say. Yeah. Lee said that he doesn't care about what the Garganos say, but he says he has a problem with their actions, and that the actions of the Garganos will reach their peak at TakeOver. Meaning, he's referring to NXT TakeOver in your house. That's what he's talking about. Drake Maverick and Kushida's match in the Cruiserweight tournament was next last night. So back from commercial, Io Shirai's backstage preparing for her match. I wish I could see how she prepares for her match. Wish I could see that. Of course, I don't have USA on the channel. Of course, I watch it on YouTube. Watch NXT on YouTube, so I watch the highlights on YouTube. Anyways, Matt Riddle, ladies and gentlemen, the original bro, Matt Riddle is shown backstage, and he responds to Timothy Thatcher's challenge for the location. He suggests it's somewhere where they are both familiar. A cage. So, the next match is Kushida versus the man himself, Drake Maverick. The short guy. There you go. So, here's what happened with the match between Kushida and Drake Maverick. Maverick and Kushida lock up. Kushida forces Maverick into the ropes. Kushida locks in a side headlock, but is forced to break when Maverick drives him into the ropes. Back in the middle of the ring, Kushida locks in another side headlock. Maverick rolls up Kushida for a quick pinfall attempt. But Kushida kicks out. for some reason. Kushida drags Maverick down to the ring, going for an armbar, rather. Maverick blocks, and Kushida hits a basement dropkick on Maverick, followed by a back handspring elbow. Kushida goes for the hoverboard lock, but decides against it. Jake Atlas is shockingly seen appearing at ringside. I'm actually shocked to see him. Everybody was actually shocked to see him at ringside. Everybody on TV, I'm sure, was shocked too. Kushida hits a snapmare on Maverick and continues to work over Maverick's arm. Kushida hits a cartwheel into the dropkick, covering Maverick. Maverick kicks out to 2. He kicks out at 2. Jake Atlas cheers at ringside. They go to commercial break. Then back from commercial break, Maverick avoids Kushida and sends him into the corner. Maverick hits a dropkick from the top rope. Then hits a Canadian Destroyer on Kushida, covering him for 2. Kushida hits Maverick with a huge right hand, rattling him. Maverick rests in the corner, and Kushida gives chase, hitting him with a palm strike. Kushida drives his knee into Maverick's elbow. Kushida tosses Maverick out of the ring, and the referee forces Kushida from the falling out of the ring. Maverick gets back in the ring, but Kushida hits a scope slam on him. Kushida continues his focused attack on Maverick's left arm. Maverick reaches the ropes and forces a break. Maverick hits Kushida with a series of strikes, but Kushida again applies pressure onto Maverick's left arm. Maverick reaches the ropes again and forces a break. Maverick gets to his feet, and Kushida gets to the top rope. Maverick stuns Kushida and chases him to the top rope. Maverick goes for a bulldog from the top rope, but Kushida reverses into a hoverboard lock. Maverick rolls Kushida up into a pinfall attempt, covering him for 3. So then Jake Atlas enters the ring and celebrates with Jake Maverick. Byron Saxton gets on the microphone and says that William Regal has scheduled a triple threat match between Atlas, Maverick, and Kushida, where the winners will advance to the finals of the tournament. So we get a video package for Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai's upcoming match. Up next that night was Damian Priest. It said Damian Priest will be speaking on NXT television after the Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley match. So, back from commercial that night, the triple threat match between Kushida, Jake Atlas, and Drake Maverick was scheduled for next week. Additionally, the cage match between Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher is scheduled for next week as well. Damian Priest says that Finn Balor has a target on his back, so he wants to go after Finn before becoming a champion. Priest says that he wants to take on Finn Balor at TakeOver, as he wants to make his name live forever by beating Balor at the place where Balor made his name. So, the main event. So excited. I was excited seeing Io Shirai in the main event. I'm sure Io Shirai was excited herself to be in the main event. I'm sure she was excited watching herself in the main event on TV. You know Rhea Ripley's gonna be excited. That's no shock. So, yes, the main event was none other than Rhea Ripley versus Io Shirai. So here's what happened with the match between Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai. So Io attacks Ripley almost immediately, but Ripley catches her in a fireman's carry. Io escapes from behind and strikes at Rhea. Rhea picks up Shirai and hits a series of lariats on Io. Then nails her with a drop kick. That was an amazing drop kick, by the way. Ripley picks up Io and slaps her face down on the mat. Shirai rolls up Rhea and hits a double foot stomp on Ripley, covering her for 2. Then they go to commercial break. Back from commercial, and Rhea blocks a Hurricane Rana from Shirai. Shirai hits a sunset flip instead. Sunset flip's one of the coolest moves in WWE, by the way. Pinning Ripley for 2. Io Shirai locks in a cross-face submission attempt, but Ripley fights to her feet. Ripley backs Shirai into a corner, forcing a submission break. Io goes to the top rope, but Ripley stuns her and also climbs to the turnbuckle. Ripley goes for a superplex, but Io blocks it and perches back on the rope. Ripley hits Io with a series of headbutts, then lands the superplex on Shirai, covering Io for 2. Ripley taunts Io and does a little bit of trash talk. Io hits Ripley with a palm strike, but Ripley grounds Io with a right hand. Ripley picks up Shirai, but Shirai escapes and locks in a crossface again. Ripley reaches the ropes and forces a break. Io hits the tiger face kick on Ripley, then sends her out of the ring with a drop kick and follows it up with a toe to the outside. Both women are laying prone on the ground outside the ring, and Charlotte Flair comes out to stand at ringside. Shirai hits a Hurricane Rana on Ripley, sending Ripley crashing into Charlotte. Io gets Ripley back in the ring and hits Ripley with a running double knee strike in the corner. Shirai hits a DDT on Ripley, covering her for 2. Suddenly, Charlotte catches Io off guard and hits her with a big boot. So the winner was Io Shirai due to disqualification. Charlotte hits a spear on Rhea Ripley. Then she stands tall over Ripley and Io, holding her title in the air as the week's episode of NXT came to an end. So, ladies and gentlemen, here was my thoughts on NXT. My thoughts on last night's NXT was that NXT was an amazing show. It was brilliant. I loved some of the video. I loved the video package from Shotzi Blackheart. I loved the entrance of Cross and Scarlett again. The entrance we saw either last week or a few weeks ago on NXT. And you gotta love the in-ring experience of Cross. The Doomsday Shadows is a good move, especially the Cross jacket. That was a good victory for Cross. I like how NXT is continuing to build up Cross, building up his match against Tommaso Ciampa for TakeOver in Your House. I love what Scarlett did in her entrance with Cross too. Amazing entrance. The match, like I said, the match between Akira Tozawa and Phantasma was decent. And the match between Mia Yim and Santana Garrett seemed easy for Mia Yim. If this was a good match for Mia Yim, for Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae to come out, and complain about Yim's continued opportunities, I love that. And I loved the match between Dexter Lumis and Roderick Strong. They were going at it. They were both going at it. And I love Dexter Lumis' character. They're doing good. NXT's doing a good job with Dexter Lumis' character. They're doing really good with his character. They need to continue on building Dexter Lumis up as a top star in NXT. I think he will be the perfect top star for NXT. He will be one of the perfect top stars anyway for NXT. And this match, this tag team match, seemed easy for Arnie Larkin and Danny Burch. I just wanted to say, why build Arnie Larkin and Danny Burch up all of a sudden when you've already built them up and brought them down enough? It just didn't make sense to build them up again when they have already built them up twice. But I understand. Hopefully, they're building them up for a match against Imperium for the NXT Tag Team Champions. That's what I'm hoping. And I wonder where James Drake and Zach Gibson have been. We haven't seen the young grizzled veterans for probably about 4 to 5 weeks. But this squash match was easy for Arnie Larkin and Danny Burch, which I enjoyed. The match between Kushida and Drake Maverick, I enjoyed that match too. They're doing a great job using Drake Maverick on the NXT roster. I guess he's considered still employee for WWE. And the main event was good. So the start, the middle, and the end of NXT, the start, middle, and the end of last night's episode of NXT was really good. The show was good. The show was amazing. The show was excellent. They did an excellent job with this show. So, that's that. And, ladies and gentlemen, well, this is the end of your May the 21st, 2020 NXT review. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. And be tuning in for my Friday Night SmackDown review Friday night, immediately after Friday Night SmackDown goes off air. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you also have a wonderful weekend. You will hear from me Friday on my Friday Night SmackDown review, so tune in for my Friday Night SmackDown review immediately after Friday Night SmackDown goes off. I wanted to repeat that again so everybody would get it, so you all would get it. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Peace. I'm out. Have a good week. Oh, by the way, stay safe. Be careful. And stay away from drugs. And stay 6 feet away from the person that's ill and that has the virus. And those of you that work, be sure you wear a mask. Don't go without a mask, because you're going to catch the virus if you don't wear a mask.